Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, or otherwise strange content. A couple things before we get into this video. One, huge shout out to my friend on and off YouTube, Harry on the Hook. She talked about this same episode on her channel. Her video is the second thing that comes up when you Google iCarly Britney Spears. And that's badass. I'm so proud of you, girl. You are killing it. Second of all, obviously, I'm not equipped to go into the whole, situation with the Free Britney movement, although I'm sure you already know a good amount about it, or you've at least heard a lot about it, and, that's what this episode really deals directly with. So I'm going to link, if you want to know more about the whole situation in a really, thorough way. There's a channel here on YouTube called Deep Dive. They did a 7-part docu-series on the whole situation. They laid it all out timeline-wise absolutely perfectly. It makes everything make so much sense, and I actually think they did a better job than the New York Times expose that blew up. Obviously, that piece was really important too, and it got a lot of eyes on the case, but yeah, I just feel like Deep Dive really deserves all the credit in the world for the work that they've done, so I'm gonna link that. Also, shout out to Quentin Reviews, just cause he did that 4.5-hour deep dive of every episode of the first 3 seasons of iCarly, and it got me through a whole chunk of editing a few videos back, and I just am a really big fan. I know you can't get Pulitzer Prizes for YouTube videos, but he deserves one regardless. So yeah, all that stuff is going to be linked down in the description box, so go check it out. I'm not the first person by any means to talk about this. I just think it's a really dark look at how we thought it was okay to deal with mental illness just 10 years ago, and how we oftentimes treat celebrities in a really unfair way. So it's just, I really wanted to do this video, so if this is something you don't feel like dealing with right now, absolutely no worries. I have 115 other videos on the channel to date, or you could just watch somebody else's video, no hard feelings, just look out for yourself, and thank you for being here. So yeah, let's jump into it. We got a lot to cover.
And that's the proper way to spank a tuna fish.
The episode starts like most episodes of iCarly start, with an episode of iCarly, because if you don't remember, the show is all about 3 teenagers that gain widespread internet success for hosting their own web series back in the pioneer days of web series. This show really was the beginning of an entire generation's fascination with internet fame. And it also made being internet famous seem a lot easier than it actually is. I want to slap a tuna and get 1 million views, I think. Maybe not.
Okay, now to prove iCarly can be educational, let's bring out 4 kindergartners who live here in Carly's building.
What parents are just sending their pre-K kids to go be in the care of these crazy teenagers that are constantly about to bring the whole building down around them? My mom would never. You want to use my kid as a prop in your usually dangerous and very absurd web series? Sure, whatever. I am a good parent. Oh, not only are they teaching them bad history, but they're also just scarring them for life. Those kids are gonna call the Statue of Liberty the Statue of Gibberty, and then burst out crying every time they see it until they're 25.
Do you guys remember Wade Collins? That obnoxious Hob knockoff from America Sings?
So they're making a direct callback here in bringing up Wade Collins, the singer, to another very problematic episode of iCarly that did not age well. So they're really batting 1,000 today. Let me know if you want me to do a deep dive of my own into that. Quentin talks about it and talks about why it's in such poor taste in his giant video. But if you want to see me talk about it, just leave me a comment.
According to Peartunes, the Wade Collins music video we made is the #3 most downloaded video of the year.
But something very important to the plot of this episode is that the music video they made for that guy is 3rd downloaded music video of the year?
According to Peartunes.
According to Peartunes. It's supposed to be like Apple, but they never called it Apple Tunes, so they tried. A serious attempt was made. Yeah, get revenge, kids! Who armed that one kid with the tuna? Don't give the tuna to a toddler. Also, this is nitpicky, but it stresses me out because it looks like Freddy's battery is about to die, even though they're live on air. That just gives me anxiety. And also, how are they streaming live? Because the camera's not hooked up to anything. But again, that's just, you know, that is not an observation original to me. That's, I think, what every person who knows anything about cameras and computers says when they watch iCarly.
I know, you see, somehow the world will change for me.
God, the theme song's gonna be in my head for like a week. I'd also like to point out before we go any further that I don't think any of the cringy, you know, poor taste humor in this or any episode of iCarly comes down on the cast, mainly because they're all children, most of them, and also actors are just contractually obligated to do the scenes that they're given, so it's not their fault. It's Don Snakeoder and all the writers' fault, so, you know.
What you watching?
Our Wade Collins music video.
I think it's funny that Freddy's just casually watching the music video that they made, because personally, and I feel like this goes for most content creators, you don't just recreationally want to watch the things that you make. Maybe that's just me, but I hate seeing myself on camera, and also anything that I've had to edit definitely is not something that I usually watch. Because after I've had to do so much like editing and, you know, pre-watching to make sure that everything's right, and I've been, you know, responsible for like every little frame, you know, I'm just so sick of it by the time anything that I make goes live that I never want to pull it up and look at it ever again. But yeah, they're talking about how they're number 3rd in pair tunes, and this prompts Sam to ask, hey, what was number 1? What's the number 1 downloaded video of all time? And he looks it up and realizes that it is this music video by somebody named Ginger Fox, who is a very blunt parody of Britney Spears.
Yeah, Ginger was good.
Yeah, till her career went in the toilet.
And this video is going to contain a lot of me just pointing out different jokes and why there's such blatant shots taken at different things going on in Britney Spears' life when this episode came out in 2010. But it starts here where they start talking about how Ginger was the most famous singer in the world until her career went in the toilet. Obviously meant to parallel the whole 2007 Britney Spears thing where everybody like thought she was going crazy or whatever.
That chick's a disaster.
Because people were not having the proper discussion about mental health and like everything that she was going through then.
Ginger, what are you doing?
Washing my hair.
That's not even shampoo. That's blue cheese dressing.
So they watched this embarrassing video of Ginger Fox, surely meant to parallel the whole Britney shaved her head and oh my god, that's the craziest thing we've ever seen, which I still don't understand why that was a big deal, but anyway.
Get out of my bathroom!
This will be a trend. There will be many, many tasteless jokes at the expense of Britney Spears, who was at the time going through probably one of the worst times in her entire life. Classy.
Where's Carly?
Groovy smoothie.
Ooh, text her and tell her to bring me a corn dog.
Why?
They don't sell corn dogs.
I know, she'll be so confused.
Do you ever watch iCarly, or is it just me? When, like, watching iCarly back, I just realize how much of my sense of humor comes from wanting to be Spencer when I grow up. Good times.
So get this, I was just at Hey Food buying groceries, and as I'm coming out, I meet this woman, this, like, totally super hot woman wearing a sweater.
So he's talking about how he met this lady at the grocery store. They had a little meet cute. He took her out to get donuts.
So I took her to that religious donut shop around the corner.
Julio's?
No, Amazing Glaze.
That reminds me, I was working on this set one time, and our base camp was at this church, like a lot of base camps, at least here in Atlanta, are. And I went inside where we were holding all the extras, and they had this coffee shop in there, like most evangelical churches do, and it was called Jehovah Java. And I pulled out my phone and I took a video. I don't know why I didn't just take a picture, but I felt like the glory of Jehovah Java deserved a moving picture, a video. And I sent it to all of my friends, and I got a good chuckle out of it. No shade to this particular church, it genuinely cheered me up that day.
So where are the groceries?
You left him at the donut shop.
No.
He left him at the donut shop.
Where are you going?
The donut shop.
To the donut shop.
Poor Spencer. So now we cut to this scene of Ginger Fox, the pop star. She's trying to teach her bunny tricks, which is supposed to make her look crazy, but honestly,
Roll over.
why not? You could probably teach a bunny some tricks. I probably would try it if I had a bunny.
You haven't had a hit song in 3 years.
So, neither have you.
Fair point, I guess. So I guess this guy is like her producer, her manager.
I don't need to rehearse.
Do you know how many people watch the Pop Music Awards?
He's trying to get her to go out and rehearse, which she doesn't want to do because according to him, she hasn't had a hit single in 3 years and her big comeback performance is coming up.
15 million people. You've got to be amazing to make your comeback really happen.
I guess this is supposed to parallel the VMAs, which if you don't know, Britney Spears, after the whole 2007, 2008 fiasco, her team set her up for this like comeback performance at the VMAs. The performance was like panned by critics and it was this big like social media outrage and everybody was just using it as more fuel to bully her and then acting like it was okay that they were bullying her because they were like, no, it's okay guys, we can bully her because she's a celebrity and she didn't do exactly what we wanted her to do.
It was that skimpy, glittery bikini. Give me more clothing. There were the tentative dance moves. Give me more rehearsals.
We were disappointed in her work, so we're going to devalue her as a human being. That was basically what they did. And this is paralleling that.
The Pop Music Awards.
They're calling the award show that she's performing at the PMAs, the Pop Music Awards, which couldn't sound more like a fake thing that they just named in like 2 seconds if they wanted to, but anyway.
Just get out there and do what the director tells you.
I fired the director.
So Ginger is like really moody. She fired her director and her manager's all upset, and then she sees the Wade Collins video, the one that Freddie shot and directed.
Get me the dude who directed that.
And she wants to work with the crew that did that. So her producer calls the iCarly team. You can see where this is going.
You stay.
Oh, the bunny's so cute.
Special season.
Throwback to the iPod Touch. I used to love my iPod Touch, by the way. So Spencer has his date over to the apartment and they're eating spaghetti tacos. You haven't thought about spaghetti tacos in years, have you? Because neither have I. But it's just one of those memories that gets unlocked the instant you see a scene with a spaghetti taco and you're like, oh yeah, that was a big part of this show. I want a spaghetti taco now.
Just tell me, what is wrong with you?
Exactly what everybody wants to hear on a first date. What the hell is wrong with you?
You're handsome, you're funny, you're smart, and you can cook.
Don't forget about my very special socks.
Don't put your feet on the table. Those are badass socks, but don't do that. Well, she seems kind of into it. But no, don't do that. It's unsanitary.
Something about you looks very familiar to me.
So he's like, hey, you look really familiar. And then the doorbell rings. He opens it, and it's Freddie and Gibby.
Carly here?
Nah, she and Sam went to Build-A-Bra.
There's a place called Build-A-Bra in this universe? That would be such a convenient store to have. We should have those.
They're always kicking me out of that place.
Very casual thing to just normalize in preteen boys. Thanks, Stan Schneider.
I got a hot one in the kitchen.
Oh, and plot twist.
Gibby?
Mom?
The date looks familiar to him because it's Gibby's mom.
Oh my God.
And I guess this is kind of a deal breaker for Spencer. So much so that he's sitting catatonic on the couch. It's not really that big of a deal. What? Thanks, Stan Schneider.
I have a crush on Gibby's mom.
Okay, I still don't get why that's such a big problem.
Yeah, I'm with Carly. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me.
When I look at her now, all I see is Gibby's face. Gibby's eyes, Gibby's nose, Gibby's lips. Oh.
Ugh, why? Why did they have to make it that weird? Like, at the time, this didn't seem like a big thing at all, and maybe it's not, but, like, knowing what we know in retrospect about Dan Schneider, the thought of the writers sneaking in a joke that turns into a whole plot line about an adult character imagining kissing a child character is just, it's so weird. I don't like it. And then Ginger Fox's manager shows up with no warning ahead of time for Carly because Spencer was so distraught about his date situation, I guess, that he forgot to tell her that she got a message from a gigantic pop star's manager.
Oh yeah, Ginger Fox's manager called.
Thanks, Spencer. Is he coming over here?
He's coming over here to meet you.
Got it. You're so helpful.
Where is she?
So they're all waiting on Ginger Fox. For some reason, they have Carly tying Sam's already tied shoe. Not the weirdest thing that Dan Schneider has done surrounding his star's feet. Don't feel like getting into that.
Technically, you can't take a train to an island. So there's
Dude.
I'll shut up.
Sam's bullying Freddie, but that happens in every episode.
She's a huge star.
She was. till she hopped on the cycle train and crashed into Has-Been Island.
And Sam's being really, like, obviously short-tempered with Ginger. And Carly has this line about, like, you know...
Ginger's manager said that she's gotten some, you know, mental health. And now she's ready to make a big comeback.
You can't be mean like that, you know, her mental health, and she's a person and all this, which, it's so interesting to me, because, like, at the time, it was completely normalized to just shit on Britney Spears. That was, like, the go-to joke. And a big chunk of that was because we weren't having the discussion that we are nowadays about, like, mental health, you know, celebrities being real people. But Carly having this line really implies to me that the writers knew exactly what they were doing, and they knew that they were really being kind of terrible making this episode. You know what I mean? Like it's just interesting. It's just such an interesting look into what was okay back then. But it gets worse.
Is that blood on your face?
Yeah. Ginger stabbed me with a fork.
Yikes, that is a gnarly wound.
Where'd Ginger go?
She's over there using the bathroom.
There's a bathroom back there?
No.
Ugh. So you can see how they're not wasting any time in making this character seem like a lazy, temperamental, fork-wielding, public-peeing nightmare, right?
Oh, there she is.
Wow. Gross.
Yes, this normal-looking person who does not really look strange at all would certainly elicit the word gross from somebody. So they go to show her the choreography, which Ginger doesn't know. It's a big nightmare. She's stepping on her phone because it's back in the days when phones were still relatively indestructible and you could just set them on a dance floor without worry.
Ow! Ugh! God, be careful!
People are getting pushed into things. It's a big mess. She's trying to do splits in jeans, girl. That's not gonna work.
No, don't throw it. Don't.
Ow!
Oh my god. The sound effects.
There's a fork in my shoulder!
It sounded like those reenactment shows that I had to watch in school where they, like, were in the Civil War and they'd saw somebody's leg off.
Just move!
Wait, no, Sam!
Oh, don't pull it out. You're not supposed to pull it out.
Ah! Ah!
I got empathy pain when she pulled it out. Poor Freddy.
You believe that 6 years ago, Buzz Magazine named her sexiest woman alive?
Yeah, somebody being a little bit sick or having hay fever. That person could never be sexiest person alive. It's unfathomable. That definitely is, like, a accurate portrayal of how people dealt with Britney Spears. She couldn't do anything, right? If she had a cough, I'm sure somebody out there was like, psh, she has a cough? Who does she think she is?
Well, Ginger's a big fan of iCarly, so it just seemed like a perfect fit.
This isn't live, is it? Is this live?
A great thing to say when you are, in fact, on live TV. Nice save.
I'm here with the iCarly crew, the creative masterminds behind what could be Ginger Fox's comeback performance at Friday night's Pop Music Awards.
No, that's
So the manager basically puts the iCarly team on TV live without their knowledge or permission and then corners them into directing the PMA Awards. Very professional of him. Meanwhile, Spencer's still dating his girlfriend that he's creeped out by. I don't know why you would keep dating somebody. Don't waste her time. She's a single mom with her own problems to deal with.
Gibby's a great kid, and you're his nice mom. It's not a thing.
I know the joke is like, oh, Gibby's so weird or whatever, so his mom must be weird, but like, not only does she seem perfectly nice, but Spencer's always babysitting all of these kids all the time. Gibby spends like probably more time at their apartment than he does at his own home at this point in the series. Why is this so like much of a problem? It's just a weird thing to throw into an episode. I'm sorry.
Isn't there something you would rather do than watch the movie?
Ooh, she wants to Netflix and chill.
What's wrong?
I saw a spider in your hair.
Could have had a V8. Anybody remember those commercials?
Maybe we should watch the part of...
Ooh, Gibby's mom, don't kiss somebody who clearly doesn't want to kiss you. Okay, he seems okay with it. Now Never mind, Jesus. Why? Why is it so weird? The show was such a drug trip. Oh my god.
I found her.
Oh, finalmente.
About time. She was supposed to be here 4 hours ago.
You said 2 o'clock.
It's 6 o'clock.
Another interesting thing is like how they continuously keep trying to imply that this character, again, who is clearly supposed to be Britney Spears, is dumb and lazy, when we know in retrospect that at this particular time in her career, her team was forcing her to work really long hours every single day without a day off, not having rights and being forced to work like ridiculous hours.
If I didn't do any of my meetings and work from 8 to 6 at night, which is 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days off, I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my boyfriend.
It's just a prime example of why it's not always punching up to take shots at a person just because they're famous.
Way, way better than I expected. I am still dancing. I mean, her eyes were open, her lips were moving, she remained conscious the entire time. 5 stars, Britney.
Because you never know, something might come out that you didn't know about them dealing with at the time, and then you're just gonna look like an asshole, you know? Ew, no, I hate that. Ugh, it makes my skin crawl. Why? Why?
Dancers, you dance.
Good directing, Sam. It's okay, I'm not a great director either.
Hello, is everybody watching?
So plot twist, she's not a good singer.
Before I get the party, blah, blah, you know.
This is another common criticism of Britney Spears at the time, that she was just completely auto-tuned. I think it's pretty apparent now that they've completely made her sing in a range that isn't hers. It's not that she can't sing, but that's kind of a beside the point thing.
I'm not gonna be able to sing that good while I'm dancing, you know.
And then in what's probably the grossest part of this whole thing, and there's been a lot of gross things that have aged badly, they bring in Britney Spears' very real custody battle with her ex-husband that was going on at the time.
Developing tonight, Britney Spears could lose custody of her children.
Hi, your ex-husband dropped off your baby.
Which is just like another level of gross to me, because why bring her kids into this? They even paid like the super high rates to get an infant on set. So they were like committed to this really mean-spirited joke. I just spit everywhere when I said that, getting too worked up.
Someone take this.
And then they imply that she's a bad mother, which really sucks, because it's very clear that Britney Spears cares about her children. Like, that's a really shitty thing to imply about somebody that's going through a really messy custody battle for their kids who they obviously love. Like, just stop. Dan Schneider, stop it.
Okay, you've ignored my phone calls, my emails, my text messages.
I can't do this.
You can't just ghost her, Spencer.
You look too much like your son.
I've known Carly for 3 years. You two look alike. And if I can handle kissing a man who looks like his little sister, you should be able to handle kissing me, even if I look like my son.
What a line of dialogue to put into a script. Good God. That's a lot to unpack. It is true, though. Like, they could have been such a power couple. It's kind of sad. Like, the kids hang out all the time anyway. She seems like a badass single mom. Spencer's pretty badass himself. Like, could have been great. You had to fuck it up, Spencer. Don't do the thing again. Don't do it again. Please don't do it again.
I don't see Gibby.
Yay!
Wanna kiss again?
Oh God, don't. Why?
What's wrong?
You look like Carly!
I don't even know why this upsets me as much as it does. It just seems like such a lazy, I don't know. It's the ick factor. It just seems like really lazy, and like tons of shows did it. I don't know why I'm choosing this hill to die on. It's not even why I decided to make this video. Anyway. Why would you run out the front door, Spencer? It's your house.
How could Ginger Fox have seemed so awesome 7 years ago? She was young then. Now she's all 26 and old.
That joke gets less and less funny every year I age. You know, kids always think that adult people over the age of 20 are old. Like, I'm on TikTok. I saw a teenager recently say that people who remember 9/11 are older people, and I almost threw up. But still, especially in this context, it just reminds me of the way that people have tried for so long to tie Britney Spears' success to her being like...
There's one subject we didn't discuss.
What?
Well, Your breasts.
My breasts.
A sexy teenager, which just like makes me want to throw up to say, so like.
We have a talentless woman who can't sing, can't dance, and looks terrible.
So they just like do this like insult speed round where they call her old, untalented, basically just like a fraud, which, you know, more of the same.
I guess hair, makeup, costumes, lighting, and no close-ups can make her look less disgusting.
Yikes. So they hatch this plan to have her lip sync. They keep talking about her needing all this hair and makeup so that she doesn't look quote-unquote disgusting, and like she's played by like an attractive blonde lady. Like there's a whole other discussion that could be had about the shows that played in my childhood and what they did to all of us, and like the way that we like see ourselves from like a beauty standard, but I don't have time to go into all that right now.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Then you change your baby this time.
Oh, and so they have to take care of the baby. They didn't even bother bringing a real baby on set to take that shot. I feel like I just keep repeating myself, but like it's like they just keep making the same 4 unfunny jokes over and over again, and that just makes the whole situation worse, you know?
Ginger has 0 talent.
I know. That's why I made this your responsibility.
So the manager admits to shirking his responsibilities and pushing the blame onto these literal children, which is very professional of him.
Don't you think that's kind of slimy?
I'm in the music business.
And this line is just kind of funny to me in a dark way because it almost feels like the writers are being self-aware. Like this character who's the big bad guy is like, oh, I'm in the entertainment business, so I don't care about anybody else but me. Meanwhile, they're like writing a whole show where it's basically just them making these kid actors take pot shots at a person in the public eye who's going through crisis in their real life. So like, ironic, no?
Here we go.
Fingers crossed.
Can I get a sandwich?
Not the time, Sam. So the performance starts and everything seems to be going okay.
She looks okay from a distance.
This show was so mean, wasn't it? Like, damn. Yikes, and they took a straight up rip-off piece of choreography right from the VMA performance. Subtle.
Go wide, camera 7.
I'm just imagining the VMAs allowing like a real-life 15-year-old to direct a performance like this, and that's kind of funny.
That's too much light! We can see her face!
Ah, the hits just keep coming. So things start to kind of go downhill, but the audience seems to like it. I wonder, God, that is a lot of tiling that they must have done.
Did she shave into her arms? What girl doesn't shave her underarms?
Oh yeah, and they make fun of her for having hairy armpits, which is like a pretty like normalized thing, or at least it's becoming more normalized now. Add that to the list of things that hasn't aged too terribly well, but you know. But the whole thing pretty much goes over well, and it's kind of just chalked up in the end to like, wow, people will believe anything you put in front of them.
Unbelievable.
And like the whole crowd really loves Ginger Fox, which again, Britney Spears did not have that luxury. She was mercilessly torn apart for months after that.
In Chris Angel's original piece, it involved a lot of mirrors. And when Britney was rehearsing it, she kept stopping the song and saying, "Who hired the fat girl?"
The coverage was truly insane.
Ginger Fox has no talent.
She can't do anything.
I feel like I kissed Gibby.
I feel like the show is just trying its hardest to make me uncomfortable.
Has anybody seen my baby? His name is Brian. It's Billy. His name is Billy.
So yeah, they just keep taking shots right up until the very end.
You better go to iCarly.com.
How'd you get in my hotel room?
Oh yeah, and it's funny because they kept in on, I'm watching this on Netflix, they kept in the bumper ads for iCarly.com, which I don't think is a thing anymore. That's kind of funny that they like kept that in on Netflix when you're watching it back. That's pretty nostalgic for me. But yeah, that's that episode. I know that lots of people have already talked about this. I hope I'm adding something to it. Like, I went back and forth about whether or not I wanted to do this video at all. Because one, I didn't want it to be redundant, but also I wanted to do a fair amount of research into the whole Free Britney movement, because it really is something that I feel like it's so important for so many reasons that we keep talking about it.
I'm thankful that Britney is shedding some light on the issue of probate reform. I'm having my own issues here with the same court, the same judges, and it's very oppressive.
And just keep bringing attention to it, because it's a really serious topic, obviously, and I think it just says a lot about why it's so important to, you know, have grace and kindness to people, even if it seems really, like, easy to just, like, take cheap shots at them, because I can't imagine already going through a tough time and then having the whole world just make me the punchline of a joke. And I'm not trying to be, like, super over the top outraged or anything. I just kind of think this is an interesting time capsule into what was acceptable just 10 years ago. You know, it surprises me how much the conversation has changed just in a few years' time. For the better, I think. We definitely have a long way to go, but we are definitely further along than this. And I also just think it's important to remember, like, when we're talking about people in the public eye now, this whole situation, because you truly never know what somebody's going through, and unless somebody's being called out for misusing their platform, obviously, I think it's a really slippery slope to just make fun of celebrities just because they're famous, and so it's automatically punching up. That feels really icky to me personally, so I don't know. I'm really not trying to be like holier than thou or anything. I really am passionate about this whole situation, because it's really scary that somebody's mental health can be taken advantage of after the media has just taken advantage of that person over and over and over again for profit. And it's just this really cruel cycle, and it just is very dark. And the fact that this level of, like, meanness was put on children's television and everybody was like, yep, I see no problems with this, like, that sucks. But apparently, though Britney Spears is still in her conservatorship, her dad has been taken out of the situation, or is going to be stepping down. I just read this, like, right before coming in here to film, so I don't know all the details of that, but I hope she fully gets out of this conservatorship, and I really think we have a responsibility to keep talking about it until that happens, because, you know, no one deserves to go through that. And just think about how many people are going through this simultaneously that don't have the public eye on them in their cases like Britney Spears does. The situation just has so many bigger implications, and it's just really horrifying to me. So sorry to deal with such a heavy topic today, but I feel like it's necessary. So I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, everything you do to support this channel. It means the world to me, guys. I think we're about to hit 1,400 subscribers, which is just insane. Thank you so much. I don't deserve that. And if you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, consider sticking around maybe, because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Bye.